Duke and I are, there we go. Trying to get my camera set up here. Duke and I are a hot mess today. You ever have one of those days where you're just a hot mess? That's how we are, aren't we, buddy? Well, you may not be a hot mess, but I'm a hot mess. Yeah, I wanted to jump on here and say hi. Duke and I get ready to run to the gas station real quick. We've been busy. So, I wonder if I can clip this on. If I can clip this on my hat. Yeah, that'll look goofy. Let's just clip this right here. As some of you guys noticed, we are not doing a premiere tonight. We will have brand new episodes starting next Friday. Family hauntings. We've had a few cases that we're still working on after the fact. I've got to interview a priest next week, hopefully early next week, with the case that Sean and I did where my eyes started bleeding. I was scratched from, which it's gone now, but I was scratched from here all the way down after this case. And the weird thing is my eyes never did bug me. I didn't even notice it until the homeowner pointed it out. And the scratch, I didn't even know I got scratched until I was driving home like this. Sean and I were driving back from the case. I looked down and seen this huge scratch on my arm. The weird thing was, so obviously anytime anything like bad happens or some weird medical condition happens, I always get on WebMD and look for what's going on. And what happened is the blood vessels in my eyes burst, which I've never had happen before. And according to WebMD, it would take 1 to 2 weeks to go away. And there was, as long as there was no like underlying problem, you know, just there was no way to fix it. It just goes away in 1 to 2 weeks. I woke up the next morning, my eyes were perfectly fine, and the scratch was completely gone. So that just made it 10 times stranger. Michelle, thank you so much. Thanks for everything you guys do. Appreciate the donation. So if anybody's ever had where like your blood vessels in your eyes burst and it's gone like the next day, let me know. Very, very strange. Like I said, in the case, what you guys will see in the episode, like up in her bedroom, you feel, or we would feel, you know how like when you take cough medicine and stuff, you get like that drowsy feeling? That's what you felt like up in this bedroom. I never felt anything touch me. Like I said, the scratch, I think it was a huge scratch. I got pictures of it all. It was a huge scratch. And I would think if you were scratched from like here all the way down to your wrist, you would know it. And I never once felt like I was scratched or a burning sensation or anything like that. So it was just weird that, and then it was just gone the next morning. My eyes were perfectly fine. And I mean, you'll see in the video, like my eyes, like probably from the pupil over the whites was completely red, like the blood vessels or the veins or whatever in your eyes burst. Anybody ever had that happen and then it's like gone the next morning? Yeah, this house is probably, I'm going to say, top 3 creepiest houses we've ever been into. And not just, you know, setting the haunting stuff aside, just the decor and the ambiance of the house. And we filmed this like in the middle of the day, Sean and I did. And it was so dark in this house, you would swear that it was pitch dark outside. So yeah, it's just one of those episodes, and the stuff that we documented is pretty crazy. But yeah, after that, came home. I was having nightmares about 2 weeks. I didn't get any sleep. I was sleeping maybe 2 hours a night. I'd wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. Um, my wife said that she said, were you having nightmares last night? You were wrestling around with a pillow and throwing stuff. And I don't remember what the nightmares were. I just know I would wake up at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Um, so about 2 weeks, I didn't get any sleep. Then I started talking to priests that we're friends with and just kind of explaining the situation and getting some advice. And then a few other people that we've worked with in the past that deal with like the darker side of the paranormal. And yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Like I said, next week I'll be interviewing, doing a sit down interview with the priest to kind of go over things, and then probably some prayer, just maintenance on. I think whatever was going on has subsided, but it's always good to get that second opinion. And you guys will see, hopefully, like when you watch the video, because a lot of you guys watch the videos and you say what a creepy, dark feeling you have watching the video, not even being there. And you're going to get this like 100 times. Um, so yeah, I'm going to send all the video and evidence and stuff over to the priest, get their opinion on what happened. Because a lot of it's just learning experience. You know, you go through these things. Yeah, they're scary, but it's a learning experience. And, you know, if there's anything that we did wrong during the investigation, or, you know, how can we better protect ourselves when we get into these truly haunted cases, the really dark, evil ones. Fortunately, most of the cases that we do aren't quite this bad. But yeah, this was one house. Um, you just don't run into these types of cases very often. But yeah, next Friday we'll be back to brand new family hunting episodes. A lot of you guys that's been here for a while, you know that we do typically 3 episodes a month. Sometimes we'll do 4, just depending. We've been super crazy busy. Sean and I did that road trip a couple weeks ago and did 2 family hauntings, one in North Carolina and one in Virginia. So I've got those edited. I think those are on Patreon. And then the one that Sean and I did with my eyes and stuff, I've got that one finished. I've just, like I said, I've got to add in the stuff with the priest, and then I'll have that up. I should have that on Patreon this weekend, and then I'll get that out to the masses here on YouTube here pretty soon. But yeah, I know a lot of you guys, especially on like Patreon and channel membership and stuff, have wondered why I've been MIA for a while. That's why Sean and I got into pretty dark and heavy case, and I was going through a lot here personally and just trying to get through that. And then obviously our responsibilities here at home, getting stuff, spring hit, so mowing the grass, getting a tree cut down. Gave Duke a bath. Come here, Duke. You want to show him you got a bath? Look how nice and shiny Dookie is. His air tag came off. We gotta fix your air tag, huh, buddy? So yeah, just getting a lot of stuff done here, scheduling cases, editing like a madman. And then I just started editing this morning a new case that the 3 of us did a week ago. And then we got to be back out tomorrow filming. Tomorrow, and then I think Wednesday we have another case. So busy, busy, busy. Yeah, I just wanted to jump on here and say hello to everybody, kind of give you guys an update. Let you know we'll definitely be back next Friday with a brand new episode. I'm not quite for sure if I'll have the one I was just talking about finished by next Friday, because I'm not quite for sure the day when I'm going to be interviewing the priest yet. And I think that's important to have in the episode, because obviously there'll be a lot of questions. So hopefully they can clear that up for us. And So probably next Friday will be, the next 2 Fridays will be the cases that Sean and I did with families in North Carolina and Virginia. Super good cases, very unique and different cases. So I think you guys will enjoy those. And then maybe at the end of the month we'll do, which we'll see. We may have, I'll reach out to, I think they just had surgery, the priest, and so they wanted a few days to recover from that. And crazy times. Shout out to Cincinnati. Absolutely love your show. Thank you. Love Cincinnati. Happy birthday to Gothic Embraces, if I'm reading that correct. Love from Indiana. Sean's in the house. Duke doesn't get ice cream anymore. I switched his ice cream from vanilla ice cream. I gave him those little ice cream cups to whipped cream. I just freeze whipped cream and then I put it into a small container. So I heard that the whipped cream is healthier and better for dogs. So even though Duke loves his vanilla ice cream, he gets whipped cream now and he doesn't really know the difference when it's frozen. Hello from Kentucky. Oregon. Dublin, Ireland. Duke, we better get to the gas station. Here I am rambling. Can you guys all hear me good? I'm going to try to go from my... Duke, I need to wipe off my backup camera. It's a little dirty. So yeah, next Friday, definitely new episodes coming out. All, this is April's. All May will be family hauntings. Right, Duke? Give me 5. Duke, give me 5. He said, nope. He said, you're not getting 5. Duke, sit. Sit. Give me 5 now. Duke, give me 5. Thanks, brother. You're my brother from another mother. Obviously, you're from another mother. Oh, there's a cop and your seatbelt's not on. We're going to get arrested. I think Duke could outrun a cop. Couldn't you? Duke could be like, see you later, sucker. Duke, sit. Go to the back. It has been raining and storming all day here in Ohio, so it's been kind of a crappy day. Mowing my grass 2 days a week, which is not fun. I push mow my grass, which is fine. I don't mind the cardio and stuff, the workout, but I've got one of those automatic where you just pull the hand it. But my cable broke. So now I have to push the lawnmower, which if I was just pushing like a normal lawnmower, it wouldn't be that bad. But if anybody's ever tried to push a self-propelled lawnmower that doesn't actually self-propel, it's like twice as hard. So I got to try to fix my lawnmower. I would buy a rider, but I like to push mow. Get out and do some exercise. Sometimes Duke walks with me if it's not crazy hot. But he's actually good mowing the grass with me because he just stays beside me away from the mower. So Duke and I both have been on a little diet lately, huh? We're trying to lose our winter weight, aren't we, buddy? I think I've lost 4 pounds, and Duke goes to the vet next week. Hopefully Duke lost a few pounds. So I got to get him into the vet, get his shots, and then, you know, the vets, they always weigh your dog, and then if your dog's 10 pounds heavier, they give you that. Well, you know your dog's 10 pounds heavier. What are you feeding them? And I never tell them that Duke eats ice cream and stuff. Nuggets and French fries. And Duke's set. That is who you are. Okay, we want to avoid that guy. That guy's weird. I gotta wait to get out. There's a few people. It's creepy in town. That guy's wife used to work for me several years ago with my business, and I had to let her go. And now every time, and this is like literally 10 years ago, and now every time I see her or her husband in town, they always give me a hard time. So I try to avoid them. Okay, Duke, I'm going to run into the gas station real quick. I'll be right back out. You keep the car safe. Talk to people in chat. Come here, Duke. Do you want to say hi to everybody? I'm going to leave the mic in here with you, okay, buddy? Duke. Look, you talk to them, and then I'll be right back in, okay? I'm going to shut the car off for a second. If you think you're getting out to go for a walk. The lady in there is watching our lives, or my live right now, so. Hello, inside the gas station. Duke, I wonder why these don't. Look what I got. Look what I got. One for you and one for Tucker, okay? You can't have them both. Sit. I could never get these. Was Duke a good boy when I was gone? I always said if we all woke up one morning and all of a sudden our animals could talk, we would all be in a hell of a lot of trouble, wouldn't we? Hey, Duke, you're drooling. Chew it up. You always just swallow it. Dookie boy. Duke was a good boy. Everybody said you were a good boy. Bonnie said Duke was good. Hello, Canada. Duke told us a secret. We can't wait to tell Josh. Duke's full of secrets. We do love Casper Site. Duke, you can't have Tuckers. I mean, you could have Tuckers, but then that wouldn't be fair. Better behave than my kids. No spirit in your truck. Canada loves you guys. We love Canada back as well. We love everybody. You have to be really, really, really bad person to get on our bad side. And even if you get on our bad side, it's not like we hate you. We just don't associate with you. I try not to hate anybody. But just because you don't hate somebody doesn't mean you have to associate with somebody. We like to surround ourselves around positive people. Life is too short to surround yourself with ding dongs. Right, Duke? Yep. And Duke's no ding dong, are you, buddy? Duke, let's take a ride downtown real quick. So yeah, we're very excited for the episodes coming out in May. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. I may even have, and it might be too over the top, but I may even have, see if the priest will do like a little blessing or something at the beginning of the video. I don't want it to come across like over dramatic or anything, but just in case, it's better to cover your bases. People are taking, I think homecoming or prom or something is tonight. Wonder why Kenzie didn't go to prom. Kenzie's like me. She likes to just stay home. Oh, I was going to tell you guys. So I was up early this morning editing, and sometimes when I take a break from editing, I just scroll through YouTube, catching up on like sports stuff, and there was, you guys know who Kirk Cameron is, right? I'll pull over here so I can tell you the story. Pretty fascinating. I think you guys will enjoy this. If you know who Kirk Cameron is, throw your hands up. That way I don't have to explain who it is. Okay. So he does these, it's almost like a podcast, but it's more like a sit-down interview show. Not really a podcast. And he was interviewing this guy who was one of the top. Duke, can you please sit? We're not getting out right now. Just sit. But he was one. Let me crack Duke's window. But he was one of the top homicide detectives here in the country. I think he's since then retired. But they were talking obviously about religion. So this guy, he was an atheist. He didn't. And one day his wife asked him, hey, do you want to go to church with us? He said, sure, I'll go with you. So he went to church, and that day at church, they were talking about the different, like, I'm trying to think what the word he used. But anyhow, they were talking about how the book, the Bible, and all that stuff was written and all that. So he said, I'm going to treat this just like I do any homicide case. Because he said sometimes with homicide cases, you don't, with the cold cases, the person that the witnesses are no longer alive, or, maybe the witnesses were murdered. So you have to investigate it without actually talking to the witnesses, but go back and read their reports in the case file. And so he treated the Bible like a cold case. And he went back and started reading through all the different reports, not just from the disciples, but all the different reports from people that were mentioned in different books of the Bible. It was very fascinating. I'll try to post a link for it. But how he investigated, and now he's like a firm believer. So he went from just investigating, using his investigating skills as one of the top homicide investigators in the country. And he basically applied those same skills and knowledge of reading reports and eyewitness reports and all that stuff, and became a firm believer. So it's pretty fascinating, which I've never seen anybody approach it like that before. Maybe you guys didn't find that as interesting as I did, but it's actually a pretty interesting interview. Duke, you are not eating that, because now I feel guilty if... Happy birthday to little Mama Brown. There is nothing at all tonight. We'll have a brand new episode dropping next Friday night. Everybody says hi, Duke. Have your eyes bled before? Nope. My eyes have never bled before. I've never had blood vessels burst in my eyes or anything like that before. And like I said, it was literally gone the next morning. And the only thing I did before I went to bed is I just put regular Visine eye drops in my eyes, which I don't think that would have cured that overnight, but... How old is Duke? Duke is about 4 years old, I believe. Duke. Hey, Duke, come here. Duke, how old are you? Sit. Sit. Duke, sit. Sit. Are you 4? Okay. He's 4. What is that boy doing? That boy's on a skateboard, ain't he? Hold my hand. Duke, shake. Duke. Hey, look. Here. He sees some kid on a skateboard, so he's excited. Duke absolutely loves kids, so he gets... At least you're out of the house. Here. You want to turn this so people can see you? He'll jump in the back seat. As soon as I do that, he jumps in the back seat. Everybody say hi to Sean in chat. Hello to all the mods. Thank you for the work that you do. Yeah, so I think next Friday will be the cases that Sean and I did in North Carolina. We were just outside of them. The other case was right outside of Richmond, Virginia. And then North Carolina is such a beautiful state. I wouldn't put it up there with Tennessee, but North Carolina is definitely a beautiful state. Virginia is pretty. A lot of the time we spent in Virginia was at nighttime, so definitely Richmond's a neat town, neat city. Sit. We're not going for a walk, buddy. Try to get Duke on the. Try to get more of Duke in the video, because I know the ladies love Duke. The ladies love them some Duke. You gotta sit. I just put the camera on you. People want to see you, okay? People want to see my boy. Okay, just wait. Just calm down. I think the one thing we both have is we both have ADHD and we cannot sit still to save our lives, right? That's what makes us so perfect. I think that's why we get along so well. Duke. Duke, come here. I got this new coconut dog shampoo that I used on Duke. And look how nice and shiny his coat is now. Shake. Duke's my baby boy. You're my baby. You're my best friend. Kenzie said, "Who's the other night?" She said, "Who's your best friend, me or Duke?" I said, "Well, Duke is my best friend." I said, "Kenzie's my daughter, and I love her very much, but you're my best friend." I don't think she liked that answer, but sometimes honesty hurts. No, I tell them all they're all equal. When your kids put you in that situation to choose, you always say, "You guys are all equal. You're all my best friends." Jerry, have a good night. Hope you have a great weekend. Yeah, so I figured get on here, tell everybody. I think a lot of you guys knew that we weren't, because we typically post a preview like Wednesday or Thursday. But to avoid all the, is there not a new episode tonight? So we'll give you guys a break this Friday, and then next Friday you can get your popcorn and everything ready. And have a good weekend, Jerry. See if we can answer some questions here. Josh, what is your favorite horror movie? Well, I have two of my top favorite horror movies. One is the original, the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think that one came out in like the late 70s, I believe. And then the second one would be the original Evil Dead. I believe that came out in 84, if I'm not mistaken. I could be a little off my dates, but definitely the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the original um, Evil Dead. I remember that girl, she would peek up through the cellar. She'd peek up through the cellar door with the chains and stuff on it, and she was all possessed like a demon. That scared the shit out of me. And then, what the hell was the name of the family from Texas Chainsaw Massacre? The Hyatt family, is that right? Is it the Hyatts? Somebody in chat let me know. Hewitt family. Yeah, the Hewitt family. You know, for the longest time, I'm sure a lot of people did. I literally thought that was like a true, like, you know how they start the movie and it's like the police footage, like video camera, VHS footage, where, you know, the police are investigating this horrific murders and these missing people, and they're walking down into the flooded basement, and all of a sudden he comes out and hits the officer, and the camera goes dead. And the guy's voice on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think it's just one of the most iconic horror movies ever made. And for like years, I thought that that was like legit. And I know where the story from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre comes from. One is from a crime that took place in Texas that had to deal with a priest of all things, that did some, I don't know if he killed the kids or just did bad stuff to these kids down in Texas. But that case, and then the case Ed Gein, is where the whole wearing skin and all that stuff came from. So it was like a mixture of those two that kind of inspired the story of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, what are your guys' favorite horror movies? Goonies. Oh, somebody said gross. I thought they said Goonies. I get excited. Goonies, obviously, Goonies just had their, I think it was 40-year anniversary about a week ago. It's hard to believe some of these movies have been out. 13 Ghosts. I wouldn't consider Goonies a horror movie, but Blair Witch is another good one. I remember when we watched Blair Witch in the theaters. I think the only two horror movies I've ever seen in the movie theater is the Blair Witch Project and the very first Paranormal Activity movie. Which I will say, the very first Paranormal Activity movie, when you went and watched it in the movie theater, literally had that place silent. Like everybody in the theater was scared shitless watching that movie. Obviously, all the sequels became kind of corny, but the original, the first Paranormal Activity movie was epic. Yeah, the first was only the good one. It's very rare that there's a good sequel. I will say the newest Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, I think, came out in, what was it, 2013, 2012, the last one. That was actually pretty good. I do absolutely love horror movies. I'm trying to think, I watched, do any of you guys have Netflix? If you have Netflix, throw your hands up. I know we're Amazon people, so I'm not trying to plug Netflix, but there's a movie on Netflix. It's called Trial by Fire. Excellent movie. If you get a chance, watch it. Trial by Fire. It's based on a true story and very, very sad. The Conjuring is a good movie. Now, the one with the little girl that was, her legs were like handicapped. I think she got, was she the one that got hit by a truck at the beginning of the video? Was that Conjuring 4? If you guys remember. Actually, all the Conjuring movies are pretty good, but that one was one of my favorites. The Exorcist was good. Poltergeist was good. Poltergeist, really the only thing that freaked me out the most was the Poltergeist, and I haven't seen Poltergeist since I was a kid. But it was that steak. Remember that steak that was on the counter that started like crawling across the counter? That old, for some reason, that freaked the shit out of me. And then she was like in the TV going, "Mommy, Carolyn, Carolyn, walk towards my voice, Carolyn." Carrie's a good one. Jeepers Creepers. You guys got all the. And then A Quiet Place is. Those are good movies. If you haven't seen those, Duke, if this guy comes up to the car, I'm gonna drive away. Okay. Duke, don't bark. Don't bark. Duke. Duke, get up here. Come here. Listen. If some creepy person comes walking by, you don't. You gotta be quiet so they can't hear you. I know you'll protect me, but then I gotta protect you and. Big boy Duke. Look at that shine. It's like you got wax or something on you. Duke, I think you lost some weight. I think we both lost some weight. But it won't be fair because the last time they weighed Duke, if you guys remember last year when Duke got super sick, do you remember when that dog, whatever that disease that was going around affecting canines, I forget what the hell it's called. It's like dog ammonia or something like that. Duke got super sick. Like he would literally just lay there and cough and cough and cough. Didn't eat. I think it was like 3 or 4 days, never ate. And I took him to the vet. They gave him some antibiotics and stuff. And then it was like literally almost 2 weeks for him to start getting better. I mean, I think he went down to maybe 60 some pounds. And Duke typically, I think, what are you, about 80 pounds? So yeah, when he got sick, he lost probably about 20 pounds. Yeah, parvo. He gets the parvo shots and stuff. But back then we used to board him every now and then when we went on vacation. And matter of fact, I think he actually got this before he was boarded because I stayed home. I didn't even go on vacation because he was sick. So I wanted to stay home with him. So I didn't even go. So I know he wasn't boarded at that time. So I don't know how in the hell he got it, but he got super sick. Lost Boys is a good one. Oh, sorry to hear that, Jill. Yeah, when Duke got that virus, I was so worried because I don't think there was a whole lot they could do to treat him. And he gets those shots every year for like parvo and whatever shots dogs are supposed to get every year is rabies. And it's not like he's never around any other dogs. So it's just him and Tucker. But I guess just being outside and stuff, they could get it. I don't even know how in the hell you get parvo. Distemper. Duke woke up this morning with a bad temper, didn't you, Duke? Yeah, so we'll stay with you guys for a little bit. Duke and I are going to drive home, and we've got to go to Duke. What are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? We got to go do a few things tonight. And so, yeah, that's really what we've been doing, is trying to catch up on things around house and all the manly duties you got to do around the house. I've got a few projects I kind of put off all winter, like painting a room, and one room the ceiling needs painted, and so I need to. What happens is I have to get caught up on editing, where I can, stop all that for a week and then get caught up on stuff, and then so yeah. And the grass around here has been growing like crazy, so it's literally mowing every twice a week. Ain't that right, Dookie boy? It's a long ass light. I think it's going to rain pretty much all night tonight. So yeah, hopefully you guys all have a beautiful weekend. Hopefully the weather's good. I think it's supposed to be pretty nice out all over the place this weekend. So hopefully you guys can get out and enjoy the beautiful weather. Once it gets into like late May, June, July, August, when it's like super hot and humid, that's my time of the year. I love hot, humid weather. Nothing better than push mowing the grass when it's 98 degrees with 100% humidity. Duke doesn't like the humidity. He has to stay inside the air conditioning because he's a princess. Duke's a princess when it comes to the elements. If it's raining outside, he won't even go off the deck to step in the wet grass to take a piss. He just stands on the edge of the deck and pisses off the deck. Not that you guys needed to know that, but Duke like hates getting it. If he has to, he'll go around the hot tub, and there's like a stone area where he can step on these stepping stones where he tries not to get his feet wet. So he's like this. I'm like, Duke, if you ever got lost, you would not survive out in the wild. Well, I told you, sit. You got to listen. Sit. Get back there. Duke, can you sit, please? Duke, sit. I know we're not going fast, but you need to sit. I need to put a gate right here. I think what we're going to do when we take long road trips, I'm going to bring his cage, put him in his cage, strap his cage down, and we'll just stop at like rest areas and stuff. Not for sure. If we do anything like once we leave town, because he's used to obviously riding around with me in town and stuff. When we leave town, he thinks going two places: the dog kennel or the vet, and he freaks out because those are two places he does not like. Wait, Duke, till you get to take your first trip to Tennessee. That's the one thing I'm looking forward to the most, is Duke's first time in Tennessee. New sights, new smells. I can't wait for Duke to piss on the property. I think he's absolutely going to be in heaven. I want him to see the property, and then I want him to see the ocean. So at some point, Duke and I have to take a road trip and find an ocean somewhere where he can run on the beach. We could stop at dog parks across the country, and you can meet new dogs. Won't that be exciting, buddy? We got a lot planned. We just got to get to it. We've been planning our road trip for 2 years now. I just need to get it done. But anyhow, hopefully you guys all have a great weekend. Thank you guys all for the support, friendship, and prayers. And we will see everybody next Friday night for a brand new family haunting. And yeah, you guys all have a great weekend. And we'll see you on the next episode.